Hi, good morning my dear student. Today we are going to start class 12th history. In 12th history, today we will read about chapter 9, Kings and Chronicles. But before start this chapter, I would like to tell you some important information about Mughal emperors and their empire. Dear students, if you will remember my previous class where I have already discussed some Mughal emperors, I was counted their name and their opportunities. My dear students, this is very strange matter with Hindustan, with India, that the various outsiders attack India and they rule. Even they outsiders, but they, when established himself in India, they became Hindustani. This is the finest example of the Mughal empire. We can set this statement. The Babur, who was founder of the Mughal empire, if you will read about the life of Babur, then you feel that he faced so many difficulties in their life. In his childhood days, he lost their father. His father's name was Umar Sheikh Mirza. If you remember previous class where I have discussed the Mughal, there is no actual word. Mughal comes from the Latin word Mong, which means brave, Bahadur. And some students believe that his father's side, Babur, was 5th generation of Taimur, and his mother's side, father was 14th generation of Genghis Khan. Both dynasty was powerful and renounced in the Middle Era. They are famous for their activities, famous for their empire. Even no one documents, no one any the chronicles where Mughal emperor introduced them as a Mongol. They always introduced himself as a Taimurids. It means the family of Taimur. But latterly we have seen that they famous the word Mongols. The chapter name is also, they famous the Mughals. Your chapter name is also the Kings and Chronicles, the Mughal courts, 16th and 17th century. The first king Babur, their life is very miserable during in his childhood days. His father was died when Babur was very early age. His mother Qutb Nigar Khan, he nurtured them. In the very little bit age, he became the king of Fargana, but laterly he was kicked out by their uncle. His uncle captured their estate, and Babur became a wanderer. He wandered hither and thither. He learned a lesson. उसने बहुत सारी लड़ाइयाँ लड़ी, कई सारी लड़ाइयों में पराजित भी हुआ, लेकिन वो इन पराजयों से कई सारे लेसन सीखा। बाबर ने सैबानी खान से यूसुफजाइयों से पराजित होकर के तुगलमा पद्धति सीखी। पर्शियन से उसने बंदूक और तोप के एक्सपर्टीज बनना सीख लिया, बंदूक और तोप चलाना सीखा। मंगोलों से उसने व्यू रचना सीखी और तुर्कों से अच्छे नस्ल के घोड़े और घुड़सवारी की कला। तमाम युद्धों को हारने के बाद बाबर मजबूती से उठा और धीरे धीरे उसने अपने क्षेत्रों पे कब्जा करने का प्रयास किया. इट मीन्स हैविंग लर्न लेसन on their failureness, he became very strategic. बहुत मजबूती से उठा और इन चीजों को आधार बनाकर उसने अपनी लाइफ को आगे बढ़ाया. जल्दी उसने काबुल में विजय प्राप्त की और काबुल में विजय प्राप्त करने के बाद उसने बादशाह की उपाधि धारण की. इट मीन्स मुगल किंग बाबर फर्स्ट टाइम entitled himself as a बादशाह. He never used the title Nasir Amir ul Momineen, which was given by the Khalifa, Arab Khalifa. He denied their authorities. He treated himself as a free king. His fourth war is very famous in Indian history. That is Battle of Panipat. Panipat first, where he defeated the Lodi Sultanates. Ibrahim Khan Lodi was defeated by them and he captured he acquired their state, and after that the Battle of Khanwa, Battle of Chanderi and Battle of Ghagra. He settled himself very powerfully in India, but he had very little time. 1526, the Battle of Panipat, and his death वो जल्दी ही 1526 के बाद 1530 में ही उसकी मृत्यु हो गई. और फिर यहाँ से उसे बहुत कम समय मिला भारत शासन करने के लिए. बट बाबर वॉज वेरी इंटेलेक्चुअल पर्सन. ही रोट देयर ऑटोबायोग्राफी. In their autobiography, he explained about the condition of India, and he also explained about the condition of himself, that by which way he was, which era he became the wanderer, which era there are so many revolt and uprising, which they troubled them, how his uncle kicked out from their state. Everything he wrote. He also wrote about that. Then in India there are 3 seasons. In India, there are 7 major powerful kings ruled. 5 Muslim kings and 2 Hindu kings in Hindu kings. The Vijayanagar, the Krishnadevaraja was a prominent king. He explained it in his biography, autobiography. His autobiography is in Turkish language. After some time, his autobiography translated into various languages, Turkish to Persian, Persian to English, Turkish to English. First time Baburnama was translated by first time the Baburnama translated into Turkish to Persian by Painda Khan in the regime of Akbar. And also it retranslated in Akbar periods by Abdul Rahim Khan Khana in Persian. In English language, Persian to English language, Baburnama translated by Erskine and Latin and Erskine, and then after in Mood Turkey language to English it was translated by ASW. It means after some time there are so many research work, studies happened on the Baburnama, and historian collected the many more information by this autobiography. This is also the chronicles. Then after Babur, his eldest son Humayun. Babur has 4 sons: Kamran, Humayun, Kamran, Hindal and Askari. Humayun was eldest son, so that's why Humayun became the emperor. But their era is not a prosperous era. In his whole time, in his whole year, Humayun faced so many difficulties. He was defeated by Sher-Shah Suri. Sher-Shah was Afghan. 1530 to 1540 who ruled India, and then after in 39 240, there were two battles which happened between the Afghans and Mughal, Sher Shah Suri and Humayun. That was Battle of Chausa and Battle of Pilgram. After that, Humayun was defeated and he exiled there near about 15 years in the court of the Safavi king in Iran. Thereafter, he reintroduced himself. He re-established himself on Delhi Sultanate. He became again the king of Delhi in 55, 56. But in that time, in an accident, he died. After his death, there are so many uprisings. There are so many little bit revolt happened in their empire. His eldest son Akbar is in childhood age. Akbar bodyguards, Bairam Khan controls him, their empire. Also, the battle of Panipat, second battle of Panipat, Akbar faced the high troubled era. This war against Hemu and Akbar and battle of second Panipat war, battle of second Panipat, Akbar was conquered. अकबर विजेता हुआ, हेमू मारा गया और फिर अकबर ने अपने को सत्ता पे स्थापित किया। अकबर शासन बना। अकबर का शासन काल अपने समय का महानतम समय था। We will read also about Akbar and we will discuss their policies, their religious policies, their economical policies and their administration. We will read all, but here we are trying to discuss about their chronicles which wrote by their courtiers or court poet. My dear student, every Mughal emperor try to explain their opportunities, try to explain all type of their उनके अपने विजय जो थी, उनकी अपनी उपलब्धियां जो थी, अपने सांस्कृतिक उपलब्धियों को, अपने राजनीतिक उपलब्धियों को, अपने आर्थिक उपलब्धियों को, राज्य के विस्तार को, समाज कार्य को, मस्जिदों के लिए तमाम सारी चीजों को अपने काल में वो लिखवा देते। The historians, court historians also appointed by the Mughal emperor in the period of Shahjahan, Muhammad Amin Kazandi was the court historians. He was appointed by the center to give the information. If you will read your chapter, then clearly mentioned there that the whole India, who ruled by, I mean to say that the boundary of India, if you have seen this map, then you can easily understand that the vast land was controlled and ruled by the Mughals. Afghanistan to Deccan, Bengal to Gujarat and North Kashmir to Karnataka. It means a very vast land that was controlled by the Mughal and they ruled on it. So they were very much curious and eager to write their opportunities. उसके बाद की जनरेशन उन चीज़ों को समझे, उन चीज़ों को जाने. Why I am telling again and again that they much aware and they much curious कि हमारे सारी उपलब्धियों को लिखा जाए, और उन्होंने उसको लिखवाया, उन्होंने उसको कंपाइल कराई टेक्स्ट के रूप में और वो सामने आए. The important thing is that the monarch of the Mughal empire saw themselves as a legitimate ruler of the large and the heterogeneous population. Although this grand vision was often circumscribed by the actual political circumstances, it reminded important. One way of the transmitting this vision was through the king. The commissioned court historians to write accounts of their achievements. These accounts recorded the event of the emperor's time. In addition, their writers collected vast amount of information from the regions of the subcontinent to help the rulers govern the domain. My dear student, it is very interestingly for you when you listen that the word chronicles used by the English historians, the British historians. British historians always used their accounts, they given the name the chronicles. Even modern times, no one write the history of Mughal without the help of that chronicles. Without the help of these chronicles, no one explain, no one write about the history of the Mughal Empire or the opportunity of the Mughal without collected the information from that chronicles. Their research work, their book finally cannot be completed. So that is the very important. It's proved that the chronicles, that is a very important nowadays in history. The various kings like Babur, write Baburnama. He wrote Baburnama in Turkey language. Then after Humayun wrote in the Humayun their biography written by Gulbadan Begum called Humayun in the Persian language. Then after Akbar, their language, book language is Persian. This book Akbarnama written by Abul Fazl. And then after Jahangirnama was autobiography of the Jahangir, in which the 17 years of the Jahangir regime, that was written by Jahangir, and after 2 years it was completed by Muhammad Khan. And then after Shahjahan wrote their opportunity, their history in Padshah-nama in also 3 parts: Padshah-nama first volume, Padshah-nama second, and Padshah-nama third. And Aurangzeb, he also write about the Alamgir-nama. In this text, you can easily understand the history of the Aurangzeb. Why I counted their name? Because I want to clearly inform you about the conditions. Because I want to clearly indicate that points which is important as a chronicles. Except it, there are the various books which is useful for the Mughal history, which is useful for us to understand the Mughal history, like Khulasatul Tawarikh, Nuskha-e-Dulqusa, Kalila wa Dimna, Anwar-e-Suhaili, Tabqat-e-Akbari, and I think the various books, कितने बुकों का नाम मैं काउंट कर रहा हूँ, so many books that was written, लिखवाए गए थे, which clearly explain about the actual condition of the Mughal Empire. What happened there? If you read the chapter 8, where you can easily understand that Abul Fazl, he discussed about the land revenue system during Mughal period. He also discussed about that Mansabdari. That was the chronicles. That is the written evidence. Of that we can easily understand about that, the history of the Mughals. The modern historians writing in English have trimmed this grainer of the texts the chronological as they present continuous. The chronicles are the indispensable source for any scholars who seek to write a history of the Mughals. At least one level, they were repository of the factual information about the institutions as the Mughal state. The painstakingly they collected and they classified by the individuals closely timed these texts were intended as the conveyors of the meaning that the Mughals rulers sought to impose on their domains. They therefore give us a glimpse into how the imperial ideology were created, workings of this reach and the fascinating dimensions of the Mughal Empire. According to your book, it is clearly mentioned that these chronicles play a very important role to understand the history of the Mughal Empire. Without it, no one historians write about the history. Because the court, without these chronicles, it is very difficult to find out some important informations like land revenue system, like religious policies, like the various type of rules and actions which was taken by the Mughal king. Everything, it is very difficult to understand if you will not read the chronicles. That is the one thing is more important which I want to discuss you, that in the Mughal court, except these books, in the Mughal courts, Mughal emperor always curious and they instruct their courtiers, they instruct their court poet to write about the everything which happen in their court day by day. It means in their court, it means in the Mughal courts, all the court activities were by what? Court poet and officials, they compile as a chronicles. They compiled as a text. सभी चीजें जो मुगल कोर्ट में होती थी, प्रतिदिन की घटनाएं जो मुगल कोर्ट में होती थी, इन सारी घटनाओं को मुगल कोर्ट में लिखा जाता था और ये लिख करके एक प्रॉपर फॉर्म में तैयार होता। आप पीछे के चैप्टर को पढ़ेंगे तो वहां आपको मिलेगा अखबारें, दरबारें, मोहल्ला। इट मीन्स एक पूरी व्यवस्था है। कानून हुमायूं आप पढ़ेंगे तो वहां भी आपको मिलेगा। आपको तमाम सारी चीजें मिलेंगी जो कोर्ट में डे बाय डे लिखी जाती थी। ये सिर्फ सेंट्रल कोर्ट बोर्ड के द्वारा ही नहीं, बल्कि ये कंटेम्परेरी जो अदर लोकल रूलर्स थे, जो अदर डायनेस्टीज थी, उन्होंने भी इसे कंपाइल कराया, उन्होंने भी इसे लिखाया और उन्होंने इसको लिखने का काम किया। सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात की और इसी चीजों को समझने का आप इन्हीं चीजों को अगर मैनुअली ऑब्जर्व करें तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि मेन एम क्या था मुगल एम्पायर्स का और क्रॉनिकल्स कैसे बने। ये डे बाय डे की जो घटनाएं लिखी जा रही थी, डे बाय डे की वो सारी चीजें जो राजा अपने कोर्ट में करता था और वो एक रिटन फॉर्म में लिखा जाता था, ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन बन गई फ्यूचर के लिए। इसी इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन को, इसी तरीके की बुक को और राजा की अपनी, किंग्स की अपनी ऑटोबायोग्राफी को या किंग्स जो हिस्ट्री लिखवा रहा है, वो सारी चीज़ों को एक रिसोर्स के रूप में, हिस्ट्री के रिसोर्स के रूप में हिस्टोरियंस ने कलेक्ट किया और उसी के आधार पर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट इट सक्सेस टू डिस्कस अबाउट द हिस्ट्री ऑफ मुगल्स। वो सफल हुए, मुगलों का इतिहास लिखा, मुगलों की जानकारी देना। अब नेक्स्ट थिंग्स विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि क्यों बनाए गए ये चीजें, ये रचना क्यों की गई। किन चीजों की? इन क्रॉनिकल्स की, द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ द क्रॉनिकल्स। द टॉपिक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट विच इज गिवन इन योर बुक। इफ यू विल रीड कि ये कैसे बनते थे क्रॉनिकल्स, द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ क्रॉनिकल्स। द क्रॉनिकल्स commissioned by the Mughal emperor. It's the chronicles commissioned by the Mughal emperors are an important source for studying the empire and its court. They were written in order to project a vision of an enlightenment kingdom to all those who came under the umbrella. At the same time, they were meant to convey to those who resisted that the rule of the Mughals, that all resistance was destined to fail. Also, the rulers wanted to ensure that there was an account of their rules of prosperity. It means it is very clear कि उन चीजों को मुगल बादशाहों द्वारा तैयार करवाए गए जो क्रॉनिकल्स थे, जो इतने थे, समाज में साम्राज्य के, स्टेट्स के, एम्पायर के बारे में पूरी सूचना देते हैं, उनके दरबार के बारे में पूरी सूचना देते हैं, उनके कोर्ट के बारे में सूचना देते हैं। मीन्स और ये जो साम्राज्य के बारे में सिर्फ उनकी पॉलिसीज, उनके रिफॉर्म्स, उनके द्वारा लिए गए स्टेप्स, इन सारी चीजों के लिए ये क्रॉनिकल्स एक महत्वपूर्ण रिसोर्स के रूप में हमारे सामने आते हैं। इसी तरह का उनका उद्देश्य जो राजाओं का था, ये साम्राज्य के अंतर्गत आने वाले सभी लोगों के सामने एक प्रबुद्ध राज्य के दर्शन की प्रयोजना के उद्देश्य से दिखाई गई। मतलब सभी लोग ये समझ सके कि मुगल साम्राज्य कौन सा शासक, मुगल साम्राज्य पावरफुल एम्पायर थी। ये चीजें नेक्स्ट जनरेशन तक पहुंचे, इसलिए मुगल बादशाहों ने अपने क्रॉनिकल्स लिखवाए, अपनी हिस्ट्री लिखवाने पर ध्यान दिया। मुगल क्रॉनिकल्स के लेखक निश्चित रूप से, विदाउट एनी डाउट वी कैन से दैट दे वर कोट, विदाउट एनी डाउट the authors of the Mughal chronicles were the courtiers. ये courtiers दरबारी लेखक थे जो ये काम लिखने का काम करते थे। और इस दरबारी लेखकों के सेंटर में राजा की अपॉर्चुनिटीज होती थी, राजाओं की विजय होती थी। जो इतिहास लिख रहे थे ये कोर्टियर्स, ये कोर्ट पोएट्स, इतिहास लिखने का इनका केंद्र बिंदु में शासक ही था, सम्राट ही था, एम्परर ही था। शासक की रॉयल फैमिली के बारे में, एम्परर के कोर्ट के बारे में, इसके साथ साथ एलिट क्लास, राजा के द्वारा किए गए युद्ध, उसका रिजल्ट्स, उनके द्वारा किए गए सोशल रिफॉर्म, पॉलिटिकल रिफॉर्म, इन सारी चीजों के बारे में क्रॉनिकल्स के रूप में अपॉइंटेड कोर्टियर्स इसको लिखते थे। और यही लिखने का जो पर्पज है वो एक क्रॉनिकल्स के रूप में हमारे सामने आते हैं। मुगल इतिहास के जो लेखक हैं, उन्होंने जो इस राज व्यवस्था की सारी चीजों को लिखा, उन्होंने प्रशासनिक व्यवस्थाओं के बारे में लिखा, उन्होंने शाही परिवार के बारे में लिखा, उन्होंने जितनी भी चीजें लिखी, उन सारी चीजों के आधार पर क्रॉनिकल्स को अच्छे से लिखा जा सकता है। अगर आप नाम के आधार पर देखिए तो कहता है कि अगर जिन राजाओं के बारे में लिखा गया था, स्पेशली सपोज यू हैव सम नेम्स, बाबरनामा, हुमायूंनामा, अकबरनामा, जहांगीरनामा, शाहजहां बादशाहनामा, औरंगजेबनामा। इट मीन्स हियर क्लियर cut informations that the book which was recognized by the particular kings, in this book, उस बुक में पर्टिकुलर किंग्स की अपॉर्चुनिटीज, उनकी विजय, उनके समकाल की सारी घटनाएं को कंपाइल करने का प्रयास किया गया, उन्हें बताने का प्रयास किया गया। और इस तरीके से जो ये अकबर, शाहजहां, आलमगीर, ये मुगल शासक जो औरंगजेब, इनकी कहानियों पर आधारित जो क्रॉनिकल्स हमारे तैयार किए गए, इनके लेखों की निगाह में जो एम्पायर था, जो कोर्ट था, कोर्ट का इतिहास था, वो बादशाह का ही इतिहास माना गया, वो उस राजा का ही इतिहास माना गया। अकॉर्डिंग टू द कोर्ट ईयर्स, व्हाट इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द कोर्ट, व्हाट इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द स्टेट्स, व्हाट इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द कॉमन पीपुल्स, इट इज हिस्ट्री ऑल्सो कॉल्ड द किंग्स हिस्ट्री। ये राजा का इतिहास ही कहा गया। अब इसके बाद हम ध्यान देंगे नेक्स्ट चीज पे, वो है कि टॉपिक आपका फ्रॉम टर्किश टू पर्शियन। फ्रॉम टर्किश टू पर्शियंस, व्हाई मुगल एम्परर एक्सेप्टेड द पर्शियन लैंग्वेज instead of Turkish language. Why Akbar accepted that? What was the reason behind that? These are all we will discuss my next video. आज के लिए इतना ही. Okay, goodbye and take care. Okay, goodbye and take care.